We would like to begin by thanking you all for being a part of our Digital Transformation Summit. Let us begin our first session, which is a panel discussion on enhancing operational efficiency with cloud. I would first like to welcome our moderator for the session, Mr. Manoj Bhadgaonkar, Managing Director, Financial Services, Accenture India. Good morning, sir. And now welcoming our panelists, we have with us Mr. Sanjay Jain, Head Engineering FreeCharge, Axis Bank, Mr. Pankaj Kumar Pandey, Head IT, SBI General Insurance, Mr. Sanjay Netrabile, Chief Technology Officer, Pepperfry. Over to you, Manoj, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to all the esteemed panel members. I think, today when we look at cloud, I think it's not a question of why uh, and when. I think the time is now. Everybody is talking about it and, trying to explore what can be done. And depending on, which industry or organization you belong to, you are at a different scale of maturity, and everybody is looking forward to how you can exploit more from what you already have or what you are going to put. The way I see it is, there are three ways you can unlock the value that you will get from cloud. And we will also get our esteemed panelists to share their experience on how they have gone about doing it in their particular industry and organization. One is, and I'm talking in terms of the value that you get, right? So the growth and new business models, how you can better and faster business decision based on real-time analytics, how you can launch products and new businesses faster and scale them up, right? Yeah, there is a second benefit, which is how you can improve operational efficiencies enabled by cloud, right? And coming from sort of FS or banking experience, I know there is a lot of value across the value chain, from prospecting to application to customer onboarding to customer servicing. The entire value chain, you can great productivity gains, improve that customer experience and reduce cost of processing, which is a challenge in today's time that the organizations are trying to do. And lastly, yes, I think there is a technology aspect of it, which is how you can, reduce your operating cost and improve the resiliency and responsiveness of your systems. Of course, cloud offers that, and many of the companies are seeing that benefit also. But that's not the only thing. Now, with that, I would like to start the discussion, and my first question is to um, Sanjay Jain. Sanjay, coming from sort of payments and being part of the banking, what is the sort of cloud adoption strategy that your enterprise has taken, and where are you in the journey, and how, what's the roadmap you see for you as an organization and the payment industry as such? Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Manoj. Thanks, everyone. Guys, hi, I'm Sanjay Jain. This is my second digital transformation. And the kind of strategy what we have over here is, it always, so whenever the things comes from the top, right? So that becomes very easier to execute the strategy. Another very important point for us before even, embarking the cloud journey was to build the right team with the right skills, with the right attitude. And that is what we focus a lot. So before even starting or jumping on just execution, we build the right team first. So we build the team called, or a team called DBAT, which is Digital Business and Transformation. So this is the proposition of Axis Bank and the FreeCharge. So we can. And that's how we set up the goals. And so far, we have. I started building the team, in December 2019, just before lockdown started. And so far, we have 100 plus tech team, and we started with the day zero security controls in place. So without even compromising any security, so I got like, what we did is obviously there are lots of challenges, when you start this kind of a journey, and we have a very audacious goal. So our goal is, or our vision is not only for 2 or 3 years. We have a very long goals, like, we have for next 5 years, how we have to improve our customer experiences. Our kind of competition is not with any of the banks. Those we believe that it will just come on board. Like, we our focus is mainly on what kind of the best user experience we provide, which can compete with with the fintechs or with the startups. This is where we have our strategies rolled out. As also, like, in my whole tech team, like, you won't find any corporate guy at all. It's all startup folks. So very interesting things we are building over here. So we so starting from there, we have actually created again to have this to do a digital transformation. You cannot just work in a waterfall approach, right? Very first thing, we have adopted agile. As most of the startup folks, it's not new for us. We just started with that. We have a separate garages for each and every product. For, let's say, we have a liability products, we have a savings product, we have a current account product, we have a commercial products, we have a wholesale banking. So we have a separate garages involved, and in each and every garage, like, we are actually involving from the head of the let's say if there is a corporate banking, then head of the corporate banking comes on board, and it becomes easier than to drive everyone on the same agenda. So starting from the business owner, starting from the product owner, starting from the IT, everyone is aligned. So that's how we are driving our digital transformation journey or a strategy over here. And yeah, the very first thing, you also have to be very careful over here is you have to tell the folks, that the existing folks, that, hey, we are not running away, or we are not taking over your jobs. It's mainly about we are enabling them, and building the right solutions. And whenever you adopt the cloud strategies, right? Please keep your mind open, and keep look at the best and greatest practices, which are the cloud native practices. I'm not saying whatever practices you have on-prem, you just apply the same practices on the cloud. That's not the right approach. I'm sure, like, whatever you are doing on the on-prem, it can be done even way better on the cloud. So whichever are the best cloud native approaches or practices, you should adopt it. And that's the motto we gone ahead, and we just got all the folks in confidence, and we built. So like, in the first year, like, we launched 5 big products, and that's the pace we are going with. So yeah, we are definitely not lesser than any of the startups. That's how we are building it.
Thanks, Sanjay. I think you made a couple of good points about, I think, adoption of cloud is requires a different way of working, right? It requires you to work in a certain manner to sort of harness the power. And also, I think the operating model, right, which you
Yep.
seem to have adopted the right operating model as an organization. So thanks for that. Sanjay N, you are a company which is, while most of us come from FS, I think you are from retail, which is probably the hottest sector, probably the highest customer expectations, given the likes of Amazon have set in your space, and probably most impacted, at least the offline guys, in the COVID time. So how have you seen this journey over last 12 odd months, and how do you see that as shaping your future strategy for cloud?
Good morning, folks. I'm Sanjay Netrabile from Pepperfry. Pepperfry, as you know, has been a retail commerce firm, and we are born in the cloud. We don't have that legacy baggage as Sanjay and Pankaj would have, because I think the banking sector is a huge behemoth, and we're not, and to be conversing and tracking their examples would not be the right. So I'll take the pure play retail e-commerce front. I'm talking about that perspective. I think being born in the cloud has given a lot of advantages. We are more agile in the way we think intuitively. because when you develop applications in such a way that we have a knob for each application, and we can replace that knob and that individual knob. So in a particular on the whatever applications we have, we can change over any part of our application and make it work in a better way. So that advantage we carry beyond because we are born in the cloud. Now, when you say we're born in the cloud, that means all the security aspects of it is built right from scratch. As Sanjay mentioned over there, security is a very important point which you take care of and build a moat around your applications. The last 12 months, we have been continuing as we carried along. Agile methodology, as Sanjay has already mentioned, is a part of our DNA, is how we build our applications, because that's how you consistently maintain growth in the way you transform your applications. So that has carried on. And the last one, just being agile in terms of how we can manage our data, how we can support our ground people, because we have got a lot of studios, we've got a lot of warehouses. We manage the entire delivery end to end from merchant to customer is also part of our DNA. So that, including as well, we are kind of supporting on the ground with data, with applications, and being in the cloud, I don't have to worry about my people being in one place. I can manage my entire environment from wherever I can, from Timbuktu to Alaska to Australia, or even sitting in, say, a small city in India. So that doesn't matter. For me, it does give a lot of freedom. My people are all over India. They don't need to be in office. Actually, for us, the tech folks are actually working from home since the lockdown started, and they will continue to work at home. So that gives a lot of freedom for me to pick out people and get them on board in Pepperfry from anywhere in India or across the world. Actually, we're also looking at people being onboarded from across the world, and developers. I can get people from, say, Israel or UAE, or even from USA, to help out and be a part of our developer network. So a lot of implications, a lot of advantages in being born in the cloud, a lot of ways the organization itself develops, and that is a part of DNA. And all business understand that if the load comes, I can scale up. If the load goes down, say for example in the night, my systems, I can save a lot of on the cost efficiency as well. So these are all the advantages, and just all being basically taking 2x and 3x right now after the lockdown started. We are doing a lot more deliveries, so my systems scale up automatically. I don't need to monitor them; they are basically taken care of by themselves. I need to monitor them only when there's a issue or alert thrown, and those systems are available in the cloud. I don't need to build anything from scratch. A lot of areas, for example, sending emails, developing log systems, I don't need to worry about those. The only thing I think all of us have in common, along with the banking systems as well, is how we monitor our data, and that is an underlying factor for banking systems as well as for retail or any other industry. So that's my 2 bits on the question.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjay. Pankaj, you come from the insurance industry. You will have a fair bit of legacy, I would imagine, and sort of regulated industry. So when you look at cloud, what are probably the opportunities and use cases that you see where cloud can help an enterprise like you, which is fairly large, but also has a legacy and regulation to worry about. So if you can please share your thoughts on that.
Right. Thanks, Manoj. So as you said that we are quite regulated industry, and in IRDA, what are the things from compliance point of view as far as cloud is concerned. As if I come to our and we started with traditional way, total house, but now this is time to move to cloud. So first thing about the cloud is that why do we want to move to cloud? So objective should be very clear, that why do we want, what do we want to achieve? I am also on cloud, that does not work. We should know that what we want to achieve. So right now the strategy is cloud first strategy. That if possible on cloud, go on cloud. Otherwise, come to on premises. Now there are various factors on it. Of course, cost is a major factor because cloud is certainly not cheap. Whatever the benefits we get, but cloud has a price to pay, and the cost benefit should be very clear. That should be in our favor. So the and the facilities and the tools, technologies. If I'm moving one of my existing applications to cloud, just moving on just change of infrastructure is not going to give much benefit. Certain benefits certainly we will get, but not much benefit. But if we re-architect, if we use the tools available and utilize the full potential, then certainly it is going to. My co-panelists have talked about the security part of it. Security is a big hurdle as far as moving to cloud is concerned, and especially uh, if we are thinking of multi-cloud strategy. Because you have security infrastructure, the entire perimeter you have to create, and in every cloud there is a price, and which is a quite high. So that is that has to be carefully examined. If you route all the traffic through your own on-premise security and infrastructure, then the major benefit of cloud is lost. So this is the both way we have to take advantage of it. And one thing we have to safeguard, cloud is like a cab. You sit on it, the meter is on. So the monitoring process should be very strong. Otherwise, the cost will go out of roof. So that part is a proper policy, processes, and monitoring that should be in place. And at last, I will say that whatever we discuss, not discuss, the value of cloud. In Hindi, I will say that प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की क्या आवश्यकता है. In this pandemic situation, the entire world is working from home, and this certainly would not have been possible without the help of cloud. So that has been a great savior in this environment. Thank you.
Thanks, Pankaj. I think you were right. I think at the end of it, I think when we are, and especially I'm talking about organization which come with a fair bit of legacy, I think we will have to think through a lot in terms of how we want to leverage cloud. Because yes, I think there is a tendency to look at cloud from data center cost reduction, which is probably not the best way to look at it. I think harnessing the power of new technologies that are available very easily, and how you can shape some of the use cases across the customer value chain. And I come from banking, so we have been talking with certain clients in terms of how we can leverage the data, the power of data analytics, AI technologies to help them in underwriting, right? Creating the home loan underwriting note automatically, how we can improve the that, reduce the cost of processing in trade finance, issuance of letter of credit, and all of the value chain that I see in a bank, including customer servicing, whether it is inbound calling, outbound calling, email responses, a lot of it, the whole intelligent automation story. I think you cannot deliver without cloud, essentially, right? And that is where I think the maximum operational efficiencies that some of the, I would say, legacy enterprises can harness. Maybe the new ones which are born in cloud don't have that, baggage that they need to. But I do see bank, and I can imagine insurance, having it. So I think that is there. Now, question, Sanjay, Jain, I think for you is, given that you are already there, so sort of, but you are again, it's kind of unique that you are a startup sitting within a very large private bank. How do you see, the management, the senior management, the senior business leader, CEO view on cloud? How do they see it? How do we need to change it, or are they already on board in terms of what benefit it can give, etc. So if you can please throw a light, because you are that way unique that you are a startup now sitting within a large bank. So you would, come from a very different background, but you are interacting with sort of legacy old folks like me, right? So
Well, see, for me, it's definitely fortunate because I already work with Axis Bank CEO in the past as well. So he knows how I work. So, it became very easy for me. But yeah, so how we did it, there was, first of all, I onboarded over here, to do something different. And, to move this organization from the, we had to do a complete transformation, be it at the core. So when I talk about the core, there is a transformation happening at the core as well. So it's not like the core systems which are which have been built in the old age. Still, we are not doing something. We are doing that as well. Second thing is, the kind of products what I'm building. I'm building all digital products. So there we are anyway, we are building with the latest and greatest technologies. For instance, all over, now just imagine, have you in the banking sector, anyone have thought of the Axis Bank, would come actually, all their backend systems would be in the Kubernetes? No one. And no one takes that risk as well. So, but yeah, over here, by the way, in our DevOps team, we were having a great expertise on ECS, which is, Dockerization service provided by AWS. But then we say, hey, no, now let's take it to another level. And we started with Kubernetes. So I'm not hesitant to say that we are the first one who actually moved in Kubernetes. So that way support is enormous, no doubt about it. In fact, when we presented to the board as well, like they were saying, hey, obviously that now after hearing from you guys, like there will be massive work is coming to you. So it's like just hold your breath. More work, and as I said, like more power comes with the more responsibility. So yeah, that's the way even everyone is thinking of. So as far as the support is concerned, absolutely bang on, no issues. Yeah, but yeah, there are some hurdles comes. Those you have to be sorting out, while discussion, while explanation, and we always lead. So if I talk about the tech team over here, like we always lead by an example. We prove like this is how the system is going to work, and we demo to everyone. So there is no doubt in anyone's mind. See, it's always whenever you build something, you realize, okay, now this is how the system is going to work. It becomes easier to grasp it. So before even starting our cloud journey, actually, we build the reference architecture over here with all the kind of managed services what we will be about to use. We have just done the complete POC. We build the reference even application and demonstrate it to everyone. Hey, this is how it's going to be working. And another very quick point was we actually have the day one or day zero security controls, the perimeter controls, the network controls, everything is in place. So we have demonstrated that, and then everything just fall in place. And now, as I said, like in the first year we launched 5 big products. In this year we'll have at least 10 more products, and that's a massive products. And when we first launch our savings account onboarding journey, just imagine a scenario where you don't have to go to bank or branch. You don't have to submit any paperwork, not even single paperwork, and you open a savings account, or you open a current account, or you open a salary account. This is the journey, and how we are different than other banks or other startups are. So as soon as your account gets activated by concurrent auditors, right, in just few hours you can do a digital transactions right away there. You don't have to wait for your debit card. That's a physical debit card. You don't have to wait for your checkbooks as well. See, those processes will come when it comes. We are just not touching those processes. When it comes, it comes. But how how our products are being enabling customers are in just few hours. Imagine you're completing this journey, account opening process. In other days, like we have to wait for at least 3-4 days, or in sometimes it just takes weeks. Now it's hours. Okay, and as soon as your account gets activated, you can actually do the transaction in your internet banking, in your mobile banking as well. That's a big change, and that's the bar we have set over here. So once they have seen the quality, of work, and once they have seen the business values, right? So the numbers are great. Sorry, I can't just point out the numbers over here, but it's massive numbers, and we are contributing a lot in the existing ecosystems what the bank has. So yeah, that gives a great confidence to the top management as well. Hey, we are actually moving in the right direction and the right approach. So that way, we have, we started our journey over here.
Manoj, if I may, I have a question for Sanjay.
Yeah, please.
Sanjay mentioned that the onboarding process of getting a person to register account and start transaction on that account has been reduced from 3 to 4 days to a couple of hours. Is it cloud, or is it like a workflow automation or workflow enhancement which you guys have done?
No. So I would say just whoever are the panelists over here or all the participants as well, just open leap.axisbank.com, look at the customer experience. If you just look at the customer experience, it's far ahead than far better than anyone else. Because we have our in-house the design team who comes from who already built, who already work in the past, who also comes from who have done the kind of Bollywood, Hollywood kind of animation movies as well they worked on. So that's the kind of background they come with. And even our so it's just not about changing the workflow. Absolutely no. It's 100% digital journey, and we have built this product. See, whatever products we are building over here is all from scratch. No product exists in the market. At least in our systems, nothing exists, and we are building it. So we are building actually all the grounds of product. As I said, the products what I'm building it, the tech team what we are building it, it's consumed by Axis Bank, consumed by FreeCharge, consumed by all its partners. We have more than 150 partners. That's the way we are building it. We are building from grounds up. So if you talk about the tech as well, right? We are not using any old age technologies. Absolutely no. In fact, our front end is also, it's absolutely serverless, which is on CloudFront and S3. That's how we are building it. Our backend is, as I said, it's in Kubernetes managed service. We don't have to worry about the traffic or the workloads. It just manages by itself. Second thing is, if you talk about the tech stack as well, we are on the JavaScript framework. So our backend is in Node, front end is in React. So all the latest technologies, we are using it. So wherever we see the value, in fact, I have a very heated discussion with the IT folks as well, saying, hey, can we just do this? And when you provide the right solutions, right, and everyone see, hey, to build this way, there is a value. Then everyone accepts it. It's not like it's you versus me. Like we all are here, to build the right solutions. So it's absolutely just to answer your question there. We are not just only changing the processes, but we are providing the very amazing experience for the user where video KYC done. Where in that case, if you just look at the journey right now, you have to. We are asking the customer to enter your PAN number, to Aadhaar number, and the mobile number is also which is linked with your Aadhaar, so that if you provide a mobile number which is not linked with Aadhaar, you won't proceed in the journey. So we have thought through the whole customer journey, and that's how the things are built. It's just 4 steps journey. That's it. And so during the video KYC, the auditor just asks for the customer for the various documents. For instance, whatever the PAN user has provided, the other has provided. So the user just has to show their the physical PAN card or physical Aadhaar card and their signature through photo, and completely everything is recorded. And that's also we are using all the AWS managed services. So and all this data, it goes into the core systems. So even the regulatory angle as well, it's a satisfied, because it's a complete. We are also checking out customer cannot open the account, if customer is somewhere in outside India. So location also, we capture. So these are the security controls, compliance angles, we have taken care of. That's how the product was built. And not only here, in fact, this is just a savings account. Just imagine a salary account. So now let's say someone joins, look at the whole experience. Someone joins newly in your organization and you want to open a salary account. Any employee, generally what happens, they have to just, wait for someone from the bank guy just gonna come wherever you have a tie-up. Those folks will come, collect the documents, and the employee have to wait for probably 4 or 5 days or probably a week, and then account gets open. Now imagine through this product, we launched called Juno. It's a juno.axisbank.com, which is our salary account product, where the employee himself or herself updates or uploads all the documents, goes through the journey. It's completely digital journey. You go through it, and your account gets open right away on the same day of your joining. Just imagine the experience. It's a wow experience. You actually, your even employee also gets, hey, that's something cool. That's the kind of digital products we are building. So it's absolutely not only just changing the processes, but taking or considering customer at the center, and you build all the products around customer.
Thanks, Sanjay. I think reimagining the journeys and leveraging the cloud native capabilities, I think, is very critical. Otherwise, if we port the traditional technologies or workflows onto cloud, then I think we are just trying to use it
Absolutely.
as an
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah, it's not going to
So,
work out. The other thing is, if you just look at even in the database selections as well, I say, hey, the kind of journey what we have to build, right? Traditional way is either you go, you take any SQL DB. We say no. I mean, I'm going to use a NoSQL DB, and in NoSQL DB also, I'm just going to take a managed service. So, we have, so we will be the first one who actually going to try a couple of things first time in India, first time even in the Mumbai region as well. On if I talk in terms of AWS, so that's the product we have. So very first thing we say, hey, we're gonna use a document DB, and we started with our journey there. So it's not about you just have a let's say in NoSQL, if you're using Mongo, then you install MongoDB in your EC2 system, and then you manage the traffic. No, man, that's not the way. We say I'm gonna use the managed service, and that's how we'll be focusing more on building the products and building first to market products. That's our target. That's our goal.
thanks, Sanjay. A question for Sanjay Netrabile. I think given that you are already much ahead in the cloud journey, what do you see next in terms of, and earlier I think you were talking about multi-cloud, serverless, and the new architecture paradigms that are evolving. If you can just let us know what is that you think you as a retail e-commerce company that is born in the cloud see the future, in this cloud technologies and how it can potentially benefit us. Yeah.
Absolutely. As I said earlier on, we are born in the cloud. Pepperfry is born in the cloud, and there are a lot of technology which we adopted as we went along. And we have kept, as I think Sanjay also mentioned, that there are a lot of managed services which this cloud system provide, including AWS, Google, as well as Azure. And we piggyback on a whole lot of them and enhance our ecosystem. So what goes ahead is basically a lot of these systems which are already in the market and being used, which are brought into the folds of managed services in this cloud ecosystems. And that's when the real benefit comes into play for ourselves. We don't need to manage them. Somebody else is managing it for us. So our resource basically it can be augmented in a proper direction rather than looking at those resources or looking at those structures. We can concentrate on what we build on top of that. So going forward, I see a lot of benefit, a lot of things being built on these cloud systems, which we piggyback on and build our ecosystems. Sanjay has mentioned document DB, Sanjay has mentioned serverless, Kubernetes, ECS, and everything. These are all parts of which has been existing outside, and which a lot of companies, including big BMOs, have been using them on their on-premises. Now, because they are built as managed services in the cloud, you just need to start building on top of that, and that's actually a big benefit. And that's what also we in Pepperfry have been riding up. We have been using a lot of this. Actually, we use AWS QLDB to host our wallet solution. So we don't have to worry about those kind of things. There's an immutable database or provided over there. So this kind of systems give a boon, gives a lot of benefit to us in the long run. As we go along, I think it's more of what we provide to our customers, and that's what will lead us to design better solutions. Right now, we are working on AR and VR, which actually AWS is already providing as a managed service. So those kind of things are actually going to piggyback right on. So I think that's what we are going to do. A lot of these systems what can help us, as Sanjay also mentioned, and Pankaj also attributed in some way as to how to get our customers onboarded and start using our ecosystems. Is that's what it is. And we in Pepperfry are also in the same journey and looking at to basically enhance our journey as we go along.
Yeah. So we are also on the AR/VR. So just imagine financial products with AR/VR experience. So yeah, we will be building those products as well.
I think
Yeah,
I see a lot of from Sanjay and Pankaj, which he can operate on, looking from a nationalized bank as well as the stakeholders involved over there, where Sanjay has a more proactive stakeholders who can enable his journey. So I see a lot of interesting differences. These two guys are able to consistently enhance their exposure to cloud. I'm looking forward to hearing more from Pankaj as to what he is doing in the direction.
I agree. Exactly. We would like to hear more from Pankaj. Pankaj, in your industry, do you foresee new sort of products or business models evolving, leveraging the power of cloud? And do you foresee any particular constraints like security because of exactly, the background that your company comes from? So we would like to hear. I think we have 4 minutes, so probably, this could be the
Okay.
last one. But yeah,
Okay.
please go ahead.
Yeah, so I will start from the last. Security, regulatory concern, I don't think it is there. Re Regulator is kind enough and they have given all the leeway and within the compliance framework and keeping the essential safeguards as far as security is concerned, they have given us the opportunity that we can move and we can operate within cloud. So that is not a concern. And other security things, just to tell you that yes, we are nationalized bank is our major stakeholder and we operate and but we get very good guidance also even from the board level. We are also having from security concern, we are having a separate cloud security committee and that takes care of and that oversees what is happening within. Now coming to the as far as how we are utilizing. So there are separate brackets that I said. I think using the technologies, etc. Sanjay has already explained beautifully that how his bank is using all those technologies. Apart from that, the power of SaaS. That is the SaaS. I am personally quite a fan of SaaS because that is quite a win-win situation. The operator also has the benefit of a scale and that is also passed on to the customer. So that is quite a win-win situation. Secondly, in many aspects, it frees up the end user from the, I will say, clutches of IT. Okay. So in many things, they can do themselves also. If there is no integration, etc., is involved, so they are also able to use something what we want in the way they want. So that is a benefit. It is like, I mean, now everybody is downloading app and using it without any training, etc. Okay. And SaaS is not very far from it if you use it in certain areas.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to add few points there because Pankaj has already mentioned, like, see, uh, I also done the digital transformation of SDSC Life. So yeah, insurance I know. So yeah, so I know what kind of issues may come. But as I said, like so I'm the one who first kind of built the data lake, first data lake in insurance industry. So I'm sure, like insurance also they're not far. In fact, insurance is way ahead than any of the other financial institutes as far as AIML is concerned, as far as analytics is concerned, they're fired.
True, true. And especially in general insurance, there are many more opportunities as compared to life insurance if you look at automation, especially AI, ML. Life insurance, analytic, yes, there is vast data, long-term data. Analytics is a major area that can be put focus on. Uh, in our general insurance industry, AI, ML, especially now, this is becoming very popular, like analyzing the damage of car and the auto estimation, and that increases the efficiency manifold. So because getting the car surveyed is itself a major exercise and many client face problem. So that is one thing. We are putting focus on customer as well as, of course, intermediaries, the all important intermediaries. So customers, we launched last year. We launched our revamped customer portal and the mobile app with the newest platform and with the very user-friendly UI. So that is now getting traction. We are getting advantage. And this year we are working on giving altogether a different experience to our intermediaries, both on portal and through mobile, and all kind of intermediaries. And that we are banking in a big way on this initiative. And as I said, that AI, ML, and bot. This bot is also something that if you get on the cloud, you start your operation very quickly. We are investing heavily in that area also. To a limited extent, we have also started selling through WhatsApp. That through using bot, we started selling WhatsApp. That is just in a limited way that we have launched. That is and we are planning more and more plug-in with the different platforms, both for sales and service. So this is what we are going into. I think
Thanks.
4 minutes are over.
Yeah. Thanks, both the Sanjays and Pankaj for sharing your thoughts and, your organization journey and a perspective of where you think, what next. I think as a consumer, I'm only more excited of what is next coming in banking, insurance, and, retail e-commerce, uh, which is probably more exciting, but right, of all of the things of what next is coming. But thanks for your time. I think we are probably over the time that we had. There are a couple of questions, but I don't think we have time, so we'll probably deal with it offline. Again, thanks a lot, Sanjay Jain, Sanjay Netrabile, and Pankaj Gupta for your time
Sir,
and sharing
actually,
your valuable thoughts with everyone. Do we have time?
yeah, we have time till to 12:30. So if you want, you can take up
Okay,
a
fine.
couple of questions.
So, okay, so there is then, okay, good. Then I think, that there
Manoj,
is a question.
if I may, I just
Yeah, go
conclude
ahead, Sanjay. Please,
on the
please,
AI which Sanjay and Pankaj started. So
please,
basically,
please.
what cloud also has benefit that the AI ML can be built anywhere. You can have your own model being built on an on-premise solution. But what has cloud brought into services a model and then start and GCP have this, you just give your data to, and they actually develop their own model basis of data and give you a lot of insights into how the information can be used across your ecosystem. So AI ML actually has a lot of benefit from there, and we in Pepperfry also a lot on those lines. We have seen benefits from there because you have cross-product, cross-selling, and all those things, and basically creating customer personas as well in the journey in Pepperfry. So that has benefited across a lot of the ecosystem, and we in retail e-commerce has seen the biggest benefit of them all. Of course, insurance and piece of really the info we get on the customers, the better we can do more better cross-selling as well as handle the customers using CRM as well as on the website and take them along.
No, I completely agree. I think some of these newer, technologies that are available in a managed service, format on cloud is quite exciting. And I think, yeah, some of the industries are behind and some are probably ahead, as you just mentioned, in terms of leveraging. And that I think will be the true differentiator, as you mentioned. So there is a question, and maybe I'll direct it to Sanjay Jain. The question is cloud has proven to be indispensable, especially during this COVID situation. Do you think it will totally sweep away the traditional mechanism even after we have moved on from this new normal? So,
All right. Okay. So how the kind of digital transformation we are doing over here is, uh, uh, see, we are not taking away jobs. In fact, we are hiring more. So if you look at if I talk about my tech team, right? Yeah. Anyone is over here, I'm hiring big time. So yeah, please join. How we are helping actually BDs. That's a business development executive. Okay, so in this even pandemic time, like we launched this kind of products. So even though they are not visiting customers physically, right, still they can sell this kind of products. So all the liability products. When I talk about liability products, whether it's a savings account, current account. In fact, now just imagine why anyone is just gonna open a savings account. There is no valuation. So what we added actually another interesting product. We built another interesting product called emergency saving planner, or we call as a ESP, which is is exactly the product was the very right product for the right time of this pandemic. Like this just it clearly shows you how much you have to you have to save, how much money you need actually to achieve your goals. So just have a look. It's emergencysavings.axisbank.com. So yeah, the whole goal is not to take away any of the jobs, but to transform the existing roles so that they can be actually ready for the future. And we definitely want to be a, see, especially in the case of fintechs or startups right now, the bank definitely have to be relevant, and to do that they have to ahead of all these fintechs and startups. So yeah, cloud is just kind of enabling you. It's not like they are just taking away. Another thing is like initial journeys we asked for, as I mentioned earlier, like we asked for VPN. We never got the VPN, but just the pandemic started and we got all the things.
Thanks. Probably the next one is for Sanjay Netrabile, maybe the last one, or we may have one more that we can address is, what are the sort of operational, the metrics that you use to measure IT operations efficiency when you adopt cloud? And because you are pretty much on cloud, right? So how do you measure the IT operations efficiency when you do that? That is the question. If you can throw some light on that. Sanjay Netraval, are you there? Okay, sorry. Were you able to hear the question about IT operations efficiency? How do you measure, when you have adopted cloud?
Connection happening over here.
Okay.
So yeah, relating to that, can you just repeat the question?
Yeah, I'll repeat the question. I think the question is about when you adopt cloud, how do you measure, the IT operations efficiency of the enterprise? Because you are pretty much driven by cloud. So what are some of the metrics that you look for and try to improve on? Because that probably is a bit different from what you have traditionally. So.
Absolutely. So if you look at it in the olden days when we have on-prem, okay, for me it's olden days, not for you guys, but when we have on-prem servers, you look at how the server metrics are, right? We don't have to worry about those kind of things. We're looking from an application point of view. All our metrics are basically at the higher level as to what all customers we are trying to support, whether they are getting the right kind of experience that we want to support to them. Not only the external customers, our users of our website and mobile apps, but also our internal users who are using our order fulfillment, our CRM systems, and our studio management system that we have, and including our warehouse management system. Are we giving a good experience to them? What is the latency involved over there? So those kind of metrics are in play for us. So servers are not an issue, because the point is if the server is not behaving properly, we just automatically shift to a new server. So that benefit is there. But I think we more look at from a customer point of view, how we are supporting them, if the data latency between those ecosystems is proper. So those are the kind of metrics we kind of look at as of now.
Yes, and just to add some point there, see, I know everyone is worried about cloud cost, but once the strategy should be, once your products are on the cloud, right? Then you go for reserve instances, and you can save even more than 50% of whatever the cost you're spending at the moment. So that's another way. Cloud also provides these options as well.
I think if I add to Sanjay's, actually in our ecosystem, when we are serving the Pepperfry.com website is hosted on one reserve instance, and the other 4 or 5 or 7 or 8 are spot instances. I bid for them, I use it for a certain amount of time, I give it away. So for me, actually, even I save a lot of cost on that front as well. So my cost is basically, even from when the load comes up, I start on spot instances. I don't need to worry about reserved or on demand. So those kind of benefits actually have come a lot on the cloud acquisition.
The strategy should be, let's say, if something is very critical to your business, right? Then you can keep that on reserve instances or or the on demand. But spot is where you can just take care of all your operational kind of things. Where any kind of operational things you can take care of spot, where your customer experience is not affected, and which is not
Thanks.
real time.
Thanks. I think if we have a minute, then probably, do we have a minute or we are over time
Actually,
this time?
it's 12:30, but if there is
Okay.
something,
I think there was one question I thought that probably Pankaj can address. I think, what challenges did you face while migrating? Because you would have done that, right? Migrating from traditional to cloud. Maybe you can just spend half a minute. Any particular, because I think for the other folks, it's pretty much, you know, starting from cloud, but you would have, migrated. Any particular thing that you want to highlight? That's probably the last one. Thanks.
See, challenge, I will not say that just simply porting the application is a challenge. That is not a major challenge, and I will not count that. As I said earlier, the major challenge is that why I am porting it and what I am going to get out of it. So that is so in the course of that, few of our application had to be re-architected, and that requires some effort. So that is the only thing I will say that that investment of effort has been gone into. Otherwise, the cloud migration has been smooth.
And let's say if someone wants to just start it, they don't know much, then they can actually start with lift and shift, and after that they can customize their application as per the. I don't know, if you want to build a cloud native application, they can build that way.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I think I'm sure that
thank,
helps.
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, all speakers, for being here today. A special thanks to all our panelists for making this discussion a success, especially a deep dive of conversation for ML, AI, bots, and cloud per se. Big thanks to our moderator, Mr. Manoj Bhadgaonkar, for moderating this session with such brilliance. Thank you, everyone. Do stay tuned for more such exciting conversations. I would like to thank our partners, Accenture, Automation Anywhere, Root Mobile, and Tata Service. Stay tuned, please.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Manoj.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks. Bye.